You've done this. Stepped outside on a clear night, looked up, and thought the sky looked settled. Fixed, finished, done changing. It is not. There are as many as 2 trillion galaxies, 250 for every person alive, and almost none of them look like yours. In 11 minutes, you will see all 13 types. Giants that stop building, spirals still under construction, ghosts you can see through, galaxies missing what physics says they need, and one closing in on us at 250,000 miles an hour. By the end, you will know which kind of galaxy you live in and what it is still becoming. Start with the giants. Elliptical galaxies are where building ends. No arms, no disk, no pattern, just an immense rounded swarm of stars orbiting in every direction at once. These are the oldest neighborhoods in the universe. Most ellipticals used up their star-forming gas long ago, so almost everything in them is ancient. Old amber suns, some nearly as old as the universe itself, and they are enormous. A giant elliptical can hold more than 1 trillion stars. Count 1 star every second without sleep, and you would still be counting 30,000 years from. Giant elliptical M87 carries a black hole at its core, weighing 6.5 billion suns. The first black hole human beings ever photographed. So this is the first type. Everything a galaxy ever built, finished, and gathered in one place. Nothing new starts here, but nothing is lost either. Every star an elliptical will ever own is already shining, and it will keep shining for longer than the universe has currently existed. That is the elliptical, a completed galaxy. The next type is not complete. It is a construction site, 100,000 light years wide, and you're standing on the scaffolding. A spiral galaxy is a galaxy still being built. A flat, spinning disk, a bright central bulge, and those long, winding arms, the most famous shape in astronomy. Here's what the arms actually are. They are not solid structures. They are traffic jams, places where stars and gas bunch up as they orbit, the way cars pile up on a highway, even though every car keeps moving. And wherever the gas piles up, it collapses, ignites, and becomes new stars. The arms glow blue because they are full of newborn. Your galaxy is one of these. The Milky Way is a barred spiral, a straight bar of stars crossing the core, with arms winding off each end, roughly 100,000 light years across. Light from its far side, arriving at your eyes tonight, left before any human being had planted a single crop. And it is still working. The Milky Way has been making new stars, without pause, since before the Earth existed. Whatever else is true tonight, you live inside something that is not finished. That is the spiral, a galaxy in the middle of its work. This one had a disk like ours once. Then something took its future away. The third type, almost nobody talks about. Lenticular galaxies have the smooth disk of a spiral, the bright central bulge of a spiral. Everything a spiral has, except the arms, because everything a spiral has, except the gas. Somewhere in its past, a lenticular lost its fuel. Many were stripped as they fell through crowded galaxy clusters, their loose gas torn away by the hot material between galaxies, while their stars sailed on untouched. Others simply spent everything they had. What remains is a perfect quiet disk of aging suns, with nothing left to build. Astronomers call it quenching, the permanent shutting down of a galaxy's star-forming engine. Here is the uncomfortable part. Look into any rich cluster of galaxies, and lenticulars are everywhere. This is not a rare accident that befell an unlucky few. It is one of the most common fates in the universe. Entire galaxies, mid-life, that had their future taken from the outside. That is the lenticular, a galaxy that lost its supply line. This next one never had any order to lose in the first place, and the sky holds far more of them than of tidy galaxies like ours. Irregular galaxies have no shape at all. No arms, no disk, no center you could point to. Just a scattered blaze of stars, gas, and dust. Some were born small and never organized. Many others were wrecked, bent, and pulled out of shape by the gravity of bigger neighbors. You can see one tonight. From the southern half of the world, the Large Magellanic Cloud hangs in the sky like a detached piece of the Milky Way, an irregular galaxy, 160,000 light years away, visible to the naked eye. Sailors steered by it for centuries before anyone knew what it was, and it is being slowly pulled apart by our galaxy's gravity right now. Here's the part nobody expects. The Large Magellanic Cloud is not dying quietly. Inside, it burns the Tarantula Nebula, the most furious star-making region anywhere near us. A galaxy being torn apart, building harder than ever. Chaos, it turns out, is not the end of building. Sometimes it is what building looks like. Those are the 4 great templates of the universe. But most galaxies fit none of them, because most galaxies are something almost no one has ever heard of. The most common galaxy in the universe is not a spiral or a giant. It is a dwarf, a faint smudge of a few million to a few billion stars. So dim most were never cataloged. They are everywhere. Dozens of them swarm around the Milky Way alone, and when astronomers count backward through time, the early universe was overwhelmingly built of them. Nearly every giant galaxy you have seen tonight grew by swallowing hundreds of these. The universe's most common galaxy is also its most consumed. What comes next looks like nothing else. A perfect, glowing bullseye. In 1950, astronomer Hoag found a galaxy that should not exist. A perfect ring of hot blue stars circling a ball of old yellow ones with an apparently empty gap between them. Hoag's object sits 600 million light years away, slightly larger than the Milky Way, and 70 years on, no one can say for certain how it formed. Fewer than one galaxy in 1,000 is a ring, and in Hubble's famous photo, look closely at the dark gap, another ring galaxy, far in the distance, staring back through it. The next type was found by ordinary people. In 2007, volunteers on a website called Galaxy Zoo, ordinary people sorting galaxy photos from home, kept flagging tiny round objects that glowed green. Professional astronomers checked. The volunteers had discovered a new class of galaxy, green peas, compact galaxies about 5,000 light years across, glowing green from oxygen lit up by furious starburst. The Webb telescope later found their twins shining at the dawn of the universe, a new galaxy type hiding in plain sight for a century, found by people with no telescope at all. The next type is not hiding anything, it is burning. A starburst galaxy is a galaxy in overdrive, 12 million light years away. The Cigar Galaxy, M82, is making new stars 10 times faster than the Milky Way after a close pass by its giant neighbor squeezed its gas alight. The frenzy is so violent that M82 is blasting a wind of glowing gas out of its own body. It cannot last. Within a few tens of millions of years, the fuel is gone. A starburst is a galaxy spending its whole future in one blinding moment. The one after outshines everything so far because something at its center is eating. Nearly every large galaxy keeps a supermassive black hole at its heart. In most, it sleeps. In an active galaxy, it is feeding, and the feeding zone alone can outshine every star in the galaxy combined. The brightest of these are quasars, visible across most of the universe. The first one identified, 3C273, sits billions of light years away and still shows up in large amateur telescopes. Understand what that means. A single object, smaller than our solar system, outglowing hundreds of billions of suns. And when two of these galaxies meet, the sky itself changes. That is next. 60 million light years away, two spiral galaxies called the antennae are tearing each other apart. Their arms have been ripped off and flung deep into intergalactic space. Their gas clouds are slamming together and igniting billions of new stars born from the wreck. And here is tonight's forecast. Andromeda, 1 trillion stars. The nearest giant spiral is closing on the Milky Way at 250,000 miles per hour, fast enough to cross from the Earth to the Moon in 60 minutes. Astronomers have watched it approach for a century. For decades, the collision looked certain head-on, 4 or 5 billion years out. The newest data from Hubble and the Gaia Observatory says it is closer to a coin flip whether the two galaxies merge in the next 10 billion years. But listen to what happens if they do. Two galaxies, more than 1 trillion stars between them, falling toward each other at 250,000 miles an hour. And yet, in that entire collision, almost no two stars ever touch. The gaps between stars are simply too vast. The galaxies pass through one another, pull back, fall together again, and slowly settle into a single, larger galaxy, glowing with newborn suns. Out here, a collision does not destroy two galaxies. It builds the next one. But building takes matter, you can see, and the next galaxies barely have any. Some are hardly there at all. Ultra-diffuse galaxies stretch as wide as the Milky Way, while holding a fraction of 1% of its light, so thin and faint that astronomers call them see-through galaxies. You can look straight through one. A telescope array named Dragonfly, built from camera lenses, was designed just to catch these ghosts. And when astronomers finally weighed one, the number came back wrong. Not slightly wrong. Wrong in a way that broke a rule the universe was supposed to have. Every galaxy is supposed to sit inside a halo of dark matter, invisible mass, whose gravity holds it together. Then came NGC 1052 DF2. Its star clusters drift as if the visible stars were all there was. A galaxy with at most 1/400th of the dark matter it should have. A second one, DF4, followed. Here is the twist. A galaxy missing its dark matter is powerful evidence. Dark matter is real because only a real substance can be somewhere and then be missing. So one question remains. What if some galaxies are only the dark part? The 13th type no one has ever seen, and if the models are right, no one ever will. Dark galaxies, halos of dark matter and cold hydrogen that gathered like every other galaxy, spun like every other galaxy, and never once lit a star. Radio telescopes keep finding rotating clouds of hydrogen with no starlight in them at all. Some will turn out to be debris. Some may be exactly this: finished galaxies with the lights never switched on. If they are real, then the night sky, you know, is the smaller half of the story. 13 types. So which one do you live in? A barred spiral, one that has survived collisions already and kept its shape, one that is still making new stars tonight, as it has every night since our planet was young, and one that has a bigger version of itself somewhere ahead. Because whatever Andromeda finally does, the Milky Way story does not end. It keeps building, keeps folding in its dwarf neighbors, keeps turning gas into light. You walked outside once and thought the sky looked finished. Now you know better. Overhead, in every direction, the construction never stops. If tonight changed the way the sky looks to you, subscribe. Next time we take apart the glowing clouds, every one of these galaxies builds its stars from a